Poetry is a conversation you have with yourself and with all your worlds, as a way to find yourself and often celebrate yourself. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. She held his hand as he drifted. She held her father's hand, tendrils with rivulets to her heart, light as his unwavering gaze, a giant but a tender child. She turned to me with wet eyes and asked me if there was magic, a prayer, a pledge, whether love was what would stop his gentle drift. If she could transfer her flesh, the skin, the blood, the cuticle, the core, the maw, the spittle, the shit, the breath, yes, her breath, could she give him her hours, her being? Could she put her love for me in a pill and give it to him as a solitary dose? I could lose you for him, my love, and I know you will understand. She collapsed in my arms, her entreaties waiting for dispatch, as we together heard a machine giving his fading breath a countdown. She collapsed in my arms, her entreaties waiting for dispatch, as we together heard a machine giving his fading breath a countdown. The irrevocability of death is a given. Even as I can't ever reconcile to it, I sit in awe at its messy discipline. It tears worlds asunder, leaves pain in its wake, splits, often destroys, but moves unreconciled and unrelenting. Sometimes it gives a little air, some space, not a dawn of hope, but a sunbeam as a vestige, but then again moves across the firmament to find its west and waste. As we sit beside the hospital bed of a loved one and pray, even if it's for one more breath, deep inside we know it is against all natural laws. But hope is what we live on. I still remember the story of the Mughal king Babur, whose son Humayun was lying nearing death, and he went around his bed 3 times praying to the Almighty for the exchange of life for life, to give his son's illness to him in exchange of Babur's health. And it happened. His son was saved. It's a desperate thought, a desperate story for a despairing heart. Just as death is really a passage through life for the surviving, the bereaved, the ones left behind, death of a loved one is a transition from a sensory world of togetherness to an estranged world of isolation. With a numb realization, we realize how much we are made of what we get from those closest to us. Their demise then is like the opening of a yawning gap, something which often never fills again. It's the absence of a voice, a touch, a quiet glance, a secret smile. It is the thinking together, it is the sharing of silences, of a bowl of soup, of seeing a sunbeam together, of shivering in the cold, of finding warmth, of drinking coffee, of arguing, of hugging, of saying goodbye on the doorstep, knowing come evening and you would meet again. And then all of a sudden we realize how the absence of one life diminishes our whole world. Our accomplishments are not enough without the ardent cheerleader. Our presence is not significant without that someone's acknowledgement. A life we might be living in multiples is forever laid to rest as a lonely singularity. Our loved one's mortal body dies once, and we, the survivors, die multiple times inside. This is Sunil Bhandari, and you are listening to Uncut Poetry. I have a fantastic newsletter called The Uncuts. It's a weekly dosage of culture, art, music, poetry. Please do subscribe to it. The link is in the notes. And if you love this episode, do share it with someone you love. And follow Uncut Poetry on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Ghana, JioSaavn, or wherever you get your podcasts from. See you next week.